What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess, and today is a week, I think 195 update of my journey to rewind my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight, living a high protein, low carb, ketogenic lifestyle. And this is basically the recap of the last week, a talking point, and then the plan for the week. So what do you say we hop into today's video and get this video started? Okay, and first things first, not a medical doctor, not a healthcare professional. This entire channel, this is just my story. This is just my own experience trying to lose weight and make things right again. Talk to your own doctor, you do you. So when it comes to the last week, we had Halloween. I had 3 sports teams that all had tournaments. So last week was one of those weeks where it's like, whew, what was that? Like, you know, I don't even know. I think it went by so fast that I literally put my journey on the back burner for the week, and it was not about that at all. It was about getting through, trying to make the most of it. So when it came to Halloween, which was on Monday, it was one of those days where it was a school night. So things were gonna get going pretty quick, you know, like we try to get our kids into bed at a reasonable hour, but we still did the trick-or-treating thing. So, you know, I go out there and I get like 13,000 steps getting all this candy, and we come home and it's like, okay, have your favorite pieces, and then you gotta go up in the shower and get ready for school the next day. So I initially had already come up with the plan of how I was going to navigate Halloween candy with someone who has a sugar addiction, food addiction, emotional eater, that kind of thing. Years past, I've gone had no Halloween candy route, and then like kind of relapsed in other, like overeating in other areas thing. I had all the Halloween candy, like almost a binge on the candy. I've had all types of experiences when it came to Halloween. But this year, I don't want to live extremes. I was going to feel as normal as I can and work on that. So I went in with a plan. I will pick like 3 of my favorite pieces I actually wanted to have or sounded good to me. Not just some random piece of candy just because it's candy, like my favorites. You know, like I want to satisfy, be happy with my choice. So I planned on, okay, I'm gonna have these pieces, and when I'm all done, after I've had my pieces, I'm going to talk myself down instead of reaching for more. You know, like breaking that cycle that I used to do in the past. And that's all basically the November monthly challenge, where I'm gonna be talking a lot to myself, like, is this gonna get me to my goals? Does this make me feel good? Does this actually taste good? You know, will this make me feel guilty or have regret? Or, you know, am I gonna be irritable? Am I gonna have gas? Like, all those things I go through my head, and it allows me to make that clean break. So yes, I had 3 pieces of my favorite pieces of candy, of which I don't know what the heck, maybe it was just the ones that I had, but my Reese's peanut butter cups were ugh. And I ate all 3 to make sure, and I'm like, what the heck's happening here? So either they literally just don't taste good anymore, or my tastes have changed, or I don't know, but they didn't feel the need. So where I would say I could have done better, though, is after we came home and we had our candy, I normally in years past make my kids both take 15 pieces. All the rest has to get donated. And that's just, I don't want that much candy in my house. So this year, being there was a school night, things just got out of hand and we didn't do that step. So the Halloween candy sat on my kitchen table for 2 days before we got to it. And that's because after Halloween, there was tournaments, and you know, like we didn't have that time to go through it. And I'm not just gonna pick my own kids' candy, what they can have. Like, I want them to pick it. You know, they both get 15 pieces, you know, and it's exciting for them. So I finally get to it. But the point is, for like 2 days, I'm over there looking at that bowl of candy. I know it's there. I didn't plan for it to still be here. And I am having to fight the urge to go get more and to stop myself. And so that point, that's where I'm giving myself probably a B+ when I could have had an A+ on this challenge. So I ended up having 2 more pieces after that because it got the best of me, and I went back and I got 2 more Reese's peanut butter cups, of which still sucked. So yeah, now I have regret, you know, but it allowed me to put those brakes on. It allowed me to stop the cycle. It allowed me to have it and work through it and, you know, feel normal, if that's like kind of the word I'm looking for here. Not somebody who's an out of control sugar addict, basically. So I eventually got rid of it. It's gone, you know, but it's like it's one of those like, I wish I would have taken that few extra minutes and done that. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But moving into the next part of the week, I think I pulled out when I had like a few minutes, I pulled out my journal because I'm trying to like figure out what to do for the new year. You know, everybody has New Year's resolutions. I'm a weight loss channel. I'm doing it too, you know, so I'm trying to not make myself go crazy and wait till the last minute. So I'm actually trying to plan ideas, kind of thing like that. So I flip through and I drop my notebook and it flips to like the beginning of the book. And I was like, dang it, I saw where I started off the year at 219 pounds. And I immediately was like, I am definitely not 219 pounds. I'm like 21 pounds bigger than that. I'm supposed to lose weight this week, you know, so I immediately go into beating myself up and you know, I'm already stressed out because of a crazy schedule. And then I start beating myself up and it's like, God, you know, so now I have to find that motivation to keep going. Because at that point I'm like, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, like what am I doing here? You know, it just made me not feel my best. So if you get into these type Debbie Downer situations where you're beating up on yourself, it doesn't have to be like my situation, just in general. You're lacking motivation, you're sick of it, you know, it's one of those weak moments, the vulnerable moments. Use that time to put all of your energy back in like it's a day one, you know, not a one day type approach. So it's day one again, and what do I need to do? You know, where can I be better? So one of the ways that I find, one of the things that helps me continuously have momentum to not give up, because it's so easy to give up. I've been doing this like 3.5 years now. You know, anybody with a sound mind would have given up a long time ago, but here I am, still at it, still trying every single day. So one of the things that keeps me going is sometimes you can take those times that you are down and be real with yourself. Instead of like pointing fingers or making mistakes, sometimes you just have to look down and give your own self your own honest thoughts. And for me, my head wasn't focused a lot during this year. I basically took the summer off to work on other things. There was a point to that madness. I was working on my mental health, which brought up new issues, which made me want to eat more than I should have, but I had to address those issues to be able to move forward. Like, there was no business trying to lose any more weight if I didn't conquer the sources of the emotional eating, you know, the triggers, like that identifying that behavior. So yes, you know, I didn't do as good as I could have, but I learned a lot too. You know, I learned a lot of how to navigate this stuff so that now when I'm on this comeback, I am able to identify where I'm going wrong to now I'm like, okay, I know what's going on here. I know what to do. And it took a lot to get to this point. So yes, you know, like I could have done better, but I also found some solutions that are really making a change here for me. Finally, you know, I finally have answers. The next thing is, you know, it's easier to let a busy schedule put yourself on the back burner. Super guilty of that. You know, I did it this past week. But you don't realize how much yourself should be a priority until you're not a priority. You know, like if you haven't been a priority for a long time, and then you put yourself in the front and actually get the attention that you need to work on this, it's like, oh my God, no wonder things weren't working. You know, it takes a lot to make yourself a priority, to be able to say no, set boundaries, you know, navigate hard obstacles. So it's like, there's a lot of stuff that you can look back and give yourself a report card on and look at what's happening and not just make excuses. And that's what I did this week. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I am bigger than I was when I started this year, but I've figured out a lot of stuff that I didn't figure out before. And that's huge. You know, I have now ways to identify when something's happening and how to overcome that, where I have not had that at all in this weight loss journey, I'd only known extremes, like, oh my God, I gained a pound, I've got to not eat anything for a week, like that, those extremes is just not sustainable. Also, when it comes to finding the motivation to keep going, realize that there's no time limit on you. Like, you can do this. If you need 4 years to get to your goal, we'll take the 4 years. It doesn't matter that Sally did it in 9 months. Well, Sally probably used really restricted and extreme measures, which may be fine for Sally. It's her choice. But that doesn't mean her journey is any better than yours because she did it faster. Like, there's no point in trying to change your life if you're not willing to put that work in that actually is going to keep the weight off, that teaches you new healthy habits instead of the old self-destructive habits. So that's all I'm going to basically say for just finding that motivation. But it's okay to look back and see some negatives and be real with those. And those pretty much is like, okay, well, this is not working right now. How do I fix it? And there's your little sample of how to move forward. Okay, well, if I'm not making time for myself, I need to make time for myself. I can't pour from an empty cup. I have to take care of myself first. That kind of thing. So when it comes to the plan for the week, we don't have anything. We don't have any sports. We don't have, our evenings are free. Like, I don't even know what I used to do before when I didn't have sports, with my kids. So it's going to be one of those weeks where I'm like, oh my God, I have a to-do list that it's the size of, this big of things that I've been needing to do that I haven't gotten to. So we're going to start tackling that list. And one of the top things on the list is organizing my pantry, organizing my kitchen cabinets, organizing the fridge and freezer. And it's like, those things have been like, oh my, I should have done those things like 6 months ago. So it's bad. Those are going to take a lot of time, but they're good, fun projects that help motivate me and get me in line to start the new year. I don't want a bunch of clutter all around. So if I start working on that now, I can set myself up for success when we start the end of year, or the new year challenges and stuff like that. But I can't start a challenge for the new year with a fridge and freezer that's just packed with stuff that's got to get tossed or reorganized, or it went bad, that kind of thing. So that's exciting stuff. So look forward to that. I also have a recipe that I want to make on the channel maybe tomorrow. I made it last week just as a quick high protein dinner, and I was like, man, this is good. These are game changer. So I found a recipe for like high protein chicken nuggets. So basically like a chicken fritter, and you use like the canned chicken. Oh my God, they're so good. So I'm gonna probably make that probably tomorrow, and then just start making some videos on that pantry organization, the kitchen cabinet reorganization, and that kind of thing. So I hope to see you then. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you at the next one. I am Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind.